Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Eddie Marcus here again. Today I went to church. For some strange reason, I just had this yearning to be able to deliver this wonderful message of freedom and liberation to people who were children of the living God. And my beginning, 30 some years ago, the support and power that would be necessary to bring about the kinds of changes that we all dream of will require someone filled by the spirit that is supposed to be exhibited through the church. Now, I went over to speak to give them this message, but I entertained some comments from some people prior to going. And the people that I inquired with were children, they would say, of God. They would definitely call themselves Christians. They go to church all the time, pay tithes. Good people in standing within the societies in which we live. They're not down there, not up there, but they're cool and calm. And their information, their guidance for me was based upon, I would suspect, their particular beliefs in life, in the role of individuals in it. And it amazed me at their level of spiritual understanding. It really did. Now, at the same time, I had the opportunity to go out and try to get in these different churches. And so I got this one, but I only had about 10 minutes to speak, so I tried to summarize the whole message within 10 minutes, and at the same time have a production of videos that they could watch on YouTube or Facebook that really gave them details, and so they can really understand and how simple it is and how beautiful it is. Well, I went there, and while the devotion was going on, I listened to the testimonies. I listened to commentary relative to the spirit within the organization, within the church, within the community, being advocated by the hosts, the deacons. And I listened to that, and it seemed as if everything that came out of their mouths were kind of contradictory to what truth is. And I'm thinking, you know, when people get up and thank God every day for being able to open their eyes, to be able to get out of the bed and walk away, that's a wonderful thing. You can't ever take away from that. To be aware of it, to be compassionate enough to honor God in so doing is great. And oftentimes when I hear that, I'll in the back of my mind wonder, can God say thank you for what you've done for me in this day that I've given you to walk about, to be about? And the answer to that would be, from my perspective, in observing this, is no. God can't say that to us. Because we live in a world that is ran by the anti-God. And we were made with that spirit of the God nature in us. So you just can't grab us and make us devils. You have to trick us. And we have been tricked. And we're being led by a system that's created by devils and empowered by us. We struggle to live. We struggle to live for what God has given and provided for us in joy. And that's the way we're to receive it, but we have been tricked to go at it the way. And I'm thinking, after I heard these people speak, I got up and I spoke. Now, what I spoke about, what I wanted to say, what I know needed to be said, I sat there and I looked at the people and I saw how vulnerable they are to the lie. And I'm sensing all kinds of things. But the Spirit says, go forward. And yet I found the most gentlest way to say the things that I had to say. Walking out of that knowing that what I needed from that engagement was what I got. This is what I got. If you have been raised up in this world You think this world is from God. You think the systems of this world is from God. You think that there are some people that might abuse it. There are people abusing it, but nonetheless it's from God. That's what you believe. You believe that because you've been taught to believe that, just like you believe anything else that you've been taught since you've been alive, that you don't really know. You've been taught, and when you think about your position and your effectiveness of that position, you're all right. All of the people are all right. And all of those who profess to be ones who can lead us out of this dump seem to be all right. But the truth of the matter is, you're not all right, because we are in this dump. We are in this dump. And they tell you that you pray and ask God, and He will answer your prayer. God will give all these things to you. There's nothing you can need that God won't, and that is absolutely true. But what they are talking to you about, ladies and gentlemen, is relative to God's kingdom. It's relative to God's way of life. God's way of life is totally different. Everything that you want, God has already provided it there, and has provided that it can be done here. But it will never be done if you're waiting for a miracle to happen. You must change your mind. You must be born again. You must forget about all this junk you've been taught about life. All the struggles that you have to go through. Sure, your bills got to be paid. You got to put that junk aside. That is designed by slave owners. That is designed to keep you a slave. God made you free. God made you free. And all of your needs are to be met by you. You, the people. Every last one of you got some little gift that's a part of the puzzle that meets the needs of every individual, not just in America, but every individual on the face of the earth. And if you can't see that, then you just can't see it. You know, so can't nobody really get mad. The hope is that if you could see it, you see, when I talk to you about these things, I'm not talking to you about fake stuff. I'm telling you the truth. I'm telling you that the earth is magnificent, like a womb that can birth anything that mankind needs in order to achieve or do the things that mankind desires to do. The earth is designed that way. And then mankind is designed with the same love. Mankind can do all kinds of feats, all kinds of things. And one thing that is special about them is that they have something in them that they love doing more than anything else. And that thing is what they are being born to do. And that thing that they love to do is a part of, as indicated earlier, of a puzzle that when put together, those things that are common amongst the people for their existence, for their survival, food, clothing, shelter, education, healthcare, the things that would bring them peace and prosperity and joy, they are all in our hands, and they are all coming amongst us. So those things, it seems that anybody who got any kind of love would say, we're going to guarantee, I want this. And we're going to guarantee this to everybody else, because if everybody else feels as wonderful about it as I feel about it, we're going to be brothers and forever. And this is what they desire. This is what they commit to. And anything else that's out there that's putting people against one another, having people competing with one another, finding themselves have to lie and cheat, work all the time just to make an end meet so they can have a place to stay. You got to put that stuff out of your mind. That is of the satanic mind. That is the slave owner's mind. And it's designed for slaves. God made you free. Man didn't make this earth and all that the earth can do. Man didn't do any of that. All the things that's being done on the earth, you are doing it. You are doing it. What for? Because everybody wants these things and everybody needs these things. That's why you're doing it. Now, why can't they get these things? Because they participate in the creation of it. Why they got to go in debt borrowing something? Working hard getting this or that just to get something. Why is that? Because you've taken your mind off love. You've taken your mind off God. You put your mind on meeting your needs. And the only way you can meet your needs is by getting that dollar. And the only way you can get that dollar is by working on that man's game. Now, I know you've justified it in your own heart, in your own mind, that it's all right. You just got to do it. That ain't that bad. It's just the lesser of two evils. I know you justified it. Why? Because you are not at that level that says God is real. And I just can't live with a bunch of people who are playing games, who believe it. The only reason they exist is because they believe it and not worth anything. If you were worth anything, the world would change, or you would be dead. And you know, you in your own mind, that you would probably be dead, because you know the things that is required to be done would put you on Front Street, and you are afraid to be on Front Street because you're absent the absolute truth. If you knew it, you would be dancing in it. So having said that, I hope this means something, especially to those of you who was at the church that I was at today. You know I didn't do you any good. You did wonders for me, though. And I want to thank you so very much for that. But I'm going to stay out of the churches henceforth. I'm going to leave that alone. I'm not going to be worried about the world. My message, my mission was to take the message forward to remind you of God. And if you were willing, then to be able to express it in what it's all about. If you were willing, if you desired, if you wanted. But if not, that is your choice. And God says that my dog starts barking at somebody come in. God says that's your choice. And so your prayers really don't mean anything in this world. Your prayers don't really mean anything in this world, because you're here because you choose to be. And all the hurt that you go through is evidence that you're in the wrong world. It's there to tell you that you're in the wrong, when I say world, I'm talking about the wrong system of doing things. It is an indication of it being no good. And rather than ask God to fix it, why would God fix it when you can fix it but won't? Now, in this world, every now and then a miracle occurs. It's God reminding you that God exists. See, most folks now have got to the point they don't believe that God exists. I know they don't know it. They don't believe it as well. And there are others that think that it's a game, devilish, demonic, no, and all, whatever you can imagine. But the truth is this: if you do the right things, you'll get the right results. And there's no righter result than you having your dreams. And that is divine, but it is in your hands. So, anybody want to take me out? I give you permission to do so. I don't want to continue to live in a world where people are doing the things that they do to one another. And people standing on corners with signs begging. I mean, come on, what kind of God do you know? What kind of nation is this that says this is okay? Nah, I know you don't understand. I know where you're coming from. But I'd be damned if I'm going to let you drag me into that kind of stuff. Not again. I've been there. I know what I'm talking about. But I'm not going back. So I'm ready to go, Father. Until next time, if there is, Eddie Marcus, spokesman and advocate for basic human rights for all people. Bye-bye.